Hi guys, thanks for joining in. Let's discuss one more transformation today. So today I will be discussing aggregated transformation. So aggregated transformation is an active transformation and connected transformation. Okay. By this time, I at least expect you guys know what is active, what is passive, what is connected, and what is unconnected. Okay. So if not, like, please refer to my previous sessions, and then if you still have any questions, let me know. I can try to help you out. Okay. So active transformations are the transformations in which, like, the number of input records which are coming into the transformation is not equal to the number of records which are going out of the transformation. Okay. And what is connected transformation? The connected transformations are those transformations which are part of the pipeline. Okay. And that is the first point that you need to keep in mind when you are working with aggregated transformation. And what is the use of aggregated transformation in Informatica? It is used to group the data and perform aggregated calculations. What are aggregated calculations? All these, like sum, max, min, count, average, and many more. Okay. So these are the most commonly used aggregated calculations. Okay. So now you know, right, why we will be using aggregated transformation. It is used to group the data and also perform some aggregated calculations such as min, max, average, count, sum, etc. Okay. So these are the 2 points that you need to keep in mind. Let's move on to the lab in order to understand in much more better way. Before that, let me see what table I can use. Okay. I will use from EMPSRC. Okay, let me use TG. Let me see the target table also. Department TGT. Okay, let me use that. Let me, before that, truncate the target table if I have any data. Yeah. Okay, truncated. Truncate is the option which is used to delete the data from any table permanently. Okay. So let's start from the EPT and see, like, if we can still have any data. So let's start from the EPT table. Let's use this DEPT TGT as our table. So before that, let's take one requirement, very simple requirement in order to understand aggregated transformation. Okay, let's think that the business is asking us to get the department-wise sum of salaries. Department-wise sum of salaries. Get the department-wise sum of salaries and load it into the target table. So this is the requirement. This is the target table which contain department ID and their sum of salaries. Okay. So this is our requirement. Now, how you can don't like get confused. Even like the same requirement can be achieved in Oracle SQL also, right? I will show you how we can do that. If you don't understand also, that's fine. I will show you how we can achieve the same requirement using Informatica Powercenter. Okay. Let's do on Oracle side. We know that how to group the data, right? There is a group by class which on Oracle SQL side, which is used to group the data. Group by department ID. Because they're asking department wise sum of salary, right? What is the department column which contain departments? Department ID. That's why I'm doing a group by on department ID. And what is their expectation? They want sum of salaries. So just use aggregated function sum of what is the salary which contain salary values EMP salary. I'm just naming EMP sal in the sum function. That's it, aggregated function. We got all the sum of salaries for each and every department, but we don't know like which salary belongs to which department, right? So always remember blindly whenever you are working with group by, like whatever the column that you are putting in the group by clause, place the same column in the select query. That's it. Now you will know which salary belongs to which department. See, $60,000 belongs to 40 department ID, and 10 department ID as having 515K sum of salaries. Okay, so this way you can achieve the requirement using Oracle SQL. But let's do the same thing, how we can achieve the same requirement in Informatica. Okay, let's go to Informatica. You need to be on the mapping designer. And what I hope you guys know the basic steps, right? What are the basic steps for Informatica development? The prerequisite step is like to import source and target objects into Informatica, whatever that are required for our development. And the step 1 is like create a mapping. Step 2 is like create a workflow. And in step 2, we'll be creating a session as well as we'll linking to the mapping. And then also we'll be configuring the session and link the workflow to that session. That is the second step. What is the third step? We'll run the workflow and like we'll run the job and monitor it, right? Whether it is getting succeeded or failed, we'll be observing it in workflow monitor. Let's do the same steps. Okay, these are the only basic steps which we'll be performing in all the Informatica developments. Okay. Let's minimize this. We need to be on the mapping designer. We need to be on the source analyzer in order to import the sources, and we need to be on the target designer in order to import the target. So before that, I will not do the prerequisite step because I will not import any source and target because I already had the source in my Informatica. I already had my target table imported into Informatica, right? There is no need to re-import it. So I'll be using the same source and target. Okay. So here I'll just show you. Okay. I had my source and targets imported into Informatica. What is the prerequisite step is already done, right? For you, when you're first practicing for the first time, you need to import the source and targets that you need to that you want to use it for your development. Okay. For me, I'm not importing because I already had imported into Informatica. Now move on to the first step, create a mapping. You need to be on the mapping designer, the 5th icon tab, mapping designer, click on that icon. You need to be on the mapping designer to create mapping. Go to mapping tab, click create. M_AGG. Yeah, some meaningful name. Okay. Since we are discussing aggregated transformation, I'm naming it as aggregated trans. Okay. Click OK. Now drag and drop the sources that are required for our development. EMP-SO, SRC, and TEPT, TGT is the target table that I will be using for my development. Okay. You know, by this time, you guys know like how to create a transformation, right? Go to transformation tab, click create, select the transformation that you want to work with. And the aggregated transformation naming convention starts with AGG followed by some meaningful name. Okay. Since I will be doing a group by department ID. I kept the department ID here. Click create. Done. That's it. The aggregated transformation is created. And then you just need to, what are the ports which are needed for our development? Go to requirement. So they are just asking us to a department wise sum of salary. Get the department wise sum of salary. What is department column in the table? Let me run this. What is the department column? Department ID, right? We'll be getting department ID as well as salaries column. What is the salary column? EMP sal, right? Go to department designer here, get whatever the required ports that are used in our development. It's a good practice to bring or use only the ports which are required for our development. Okay. I just dropped the department ID and employee salary into aggregated transformation. Now double click the aggregated transformation. Nothing to do on the transformation tab. Go to ports tab. See here, there is a group by port, right? We just need to check it. That's it. We will be telling Informatica, please do group by on department ID. And how you will be getting the sum of salaries. For that, we need to create a new port. See here, this icon. And I am hovering on it, add a new port to this transformation, right? Select that one. It automatically creates a new port. And write down as out dot, since we are getting output port, it will be out underscore EMP sal. And keep the data type similar to the salary column, salary port. And precision also the same. Precision is nothing but length of that port. Okay. Let's make it output port because it's not input port. This port is created by us, right? As an output port. That's why I'm selecting as output. And the expression editor will be enabled. Click on this drop down arrow. Remove this one. And see here, when I open that expression editor, see there is on the left side, the navigator, there are like plenty of functions, right? Go to aggregated, like now in aggregated transformation, we'll be performing aggregated calculations. So that's why I went to aggregated tab. I'll be selecting what is the aggregated function that we'll be using now, sum, right? Because they need sum of salaries. So sum, double click, go to ports tab, select the column, salary column, because we need sum of salaries, right? That's why I'll be selecting salary column. Double click, that's it. Validate. It's successful. Click OK. Click apply. Click OK. Nothing to do here. We already selected the group by port. We just check the group by icon box, right? For the department ID. Since we are doing a group by on department ID. Click OK. Now connect whatever the required ports. Okay. Connect this port to department ID. And this time for sum of salaries, we need to connect this output port which we created, because that is the port which will be giving us the sum of salary values, right? Just connect that to the target. That's it. Our mapping is done. Save it and see whether it is valid. Our mapping is valid. Now for the first step is done, right? Creating a mapping. Now the second step is creating a workflow and creating a session and configure it. Where you will be creating a workflow? You will be creating a workflow on Workflow Manager. Double click on the W icon. Click OK. You need to be on the workflow designer. Go to Workflows tab. Click Create. Give some meaningful name. The workflow name starts with small wf and followed with session name or mapping name. Okay. Click OK. You put your some meaningful names when you are developing. Okay. Now the workflow is created. Now I'll be creating a session, right? You can create in two ways. You can go and create a session from here or make use of the shortcut icon. See here, I'm hovering on this icon. Click that icon, click on the workspace. It will pop up all the list of mappings that are available in the specific folder you are working on. Select the mapping you want to link with the session. Click OK. That's it. The important point is like we need to provide the proper connections, right? You need to tell Informatica where your source table is present. SRCDB is the user where the source table is present. In the similar way, tell Informatica where your target table is present, where it is present in the TZTDB user. Click OK, OK. And then we already seen in our previous session, there is an option which we can use in order to truncate the table, right? It's not a mandatory, but I'm just checking in because we discussed those topics. And we also discussed these 2 points, right? Fail parent if the task fails, fail parent if the task doesn't run. That means that the first step, if the fail parent if this task fails, means whenever the session fail the workflow also. That is nothing but this statement. And fail parent if this task doesn't run means whenever in the back end, if the services are down, sometimes the session task will not run. During that time also, in that cases also, we are asking Informatica to fail the workflow, fail the parent, right? Those are the 2 points here. Okay, click apply, click OK. Now what we need to do, we need to link the workflow with the session, right? Go to task, link task, and drag the workflow with the session. That's it. Save it. The workflow is valid. Now go and run the workflows. Right click, start workflow. Before running it, let's show you there is no data in the target table. Okay, see, there is no data in the target table. We're expecting sum of salaries and department along with the department IDs in the target table, right? Go to the workflow manager, right click and start workflow. Let's see whether it will get succeeded or failed. Okay. It got succeeded. In order to check the run properties, right click on the session, get run properties, go to source and target statistics. See here, it read 14 records, but it loaded only 5 records. Now go and check whether we achieved the requirement or not. See, it loaded department wise sum of salaries. That is our requirement, right? The client is asking get the department wise of sum of salaries and load it into the target. That's what we achieved using Informatica aggregated transformation, right? We did a group, we grouped the data based on department IDs, and we performed the aggregated function like using a sum. We got the sum of salaries also. We loaded into the target table. That's it. So this is how aggregated transformation works in Informatica. Okay. And before moving to further discussion, I hope these 2 points are clear. It is an active and connected transformation, and it is also used to group the data and perform aggregated calculations such as sum, max, min, count, average, and many more. Okay. And one more very important point when it comes to interviews, aggregated transformation is also used to remove duplicates. Okay, let me explain how we can achieve this remove duplicates functionality. Okay, let's go here and see what I will use. The same table. Select EMP SRC. I think there is already few duplicate records. See here, there is one Elon Musk here, and there is one more Elon Musk here, and there is one Steve Jobs here. There is one more Steve Jobs here. So we have two duplicate records in this table. Let me see what table I can use. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Truncated table, employees TGT. Okay. Let me use and let me check first. I should have checked the table. Remove this one. Okay, I can use this table. See, in the source table, there are 14 records, but it contains two duplicate records. For Elon Musk and Steve Jobs, it contains two records in the source side. Now, we'll be using aggregated transformation in order to remove the duplicates. What is a transformation which we can remove duplicates? We have discussed one transformation, right? That is sorted transformation. We can make use of the select distinct in a properties tab of a sorted transformation in order to remove the duplicates, right? That is one way, and we can also use aggregated transformation in order to remove the duplicates. Let's go and see. Let's use this EMP SRC as our source table and employees target as our target table. Let's go and create one mapping first. Before that, we need to check whether the source and targets are available in Informatica already, right? The source is already available. I will not import. Let's check the target. The target is also available. Okay. And I will not be importing any source and targets into Informatica since we already have the source and targets that are needed for our development, right? So let's move on to the first step. What is the first step? We need to create a mapping. We need to be on the mapping designer. Go to mapping step, click create, give some meaningful name. I'm underscore discussing remove duplicates using aggregated transformation, right? Let me give some meaningful name like that. Click OK and drag and drop the source and targets. That's it. Okay. So aggregated transformation, click create. We know how to create a transformation using transformation tab, but I will show you by using a shortcut toolbar. This is the toolbar which contains all the shortcut icons. So when you are hovering on any icon, it will tell you what type of transformation it is. See, it is joiner. This is sequence generator. This is sorter. This is a router, something like that. So when you hover over on this icon, it tells aggregated transformation. Select that icon, click on the workspace. See how simple it is. It created aggregated transformation right away. Get all the ports since we will be using all the ports, right? Double click that aggregated transformation, go to ports tab, select all the ports as group by. All the ports as group by ports. Click apply, click OK, and then bring all the ports, connect all the ports to the target. That's it. Now save the mapping. Okay, the mapping is valid. Now go to the workflow manager, create a workflow, the second step. Okay, give some meaningful name followed with the session name or mapping name. Okay, click OK. And now we created a workflow. We need to create a session and configure it, right? How you can create it? You can go use of task tabs, go use create and session task, or you can make use of this shortcut icon, session, this icon, which I'm hovering. See, session. Click that icon, click on the workspace, select the mapping which you want to work with. This is the mapping which we want to work with, right? Link it to the session. That's it. Click OK. Configure the session. Double click. Go and tell Informatica that the source table is present in SRCDB user and the target table is present in TGTDB user, right? Just provide those relational connections. And then it may or may not be a mandatory. It's not a mandatory to select this option. It totally depends upon your call. Okay. Go to general, depends upon your requirement, what I mean to say. Okay. And then select these two options. Click OK, click apply, click OK, and then link the workflow with the session. That's it. Go to task, select the link task, drag and drop, workflow with the session. Our workflow is created, right? Before running the job, our workflow is valid. Before running the job, I will show you this duplicate record. See here, there is on the source side, this is a source table, AMPSRC. Elon Musk is here, Elon Musk is here. Steve Jobs is here, Steve Jobs is here also. So it contains duplicate records, the source side. So now we are using a aggregated transformation not to remove the duplicates. Before running the job, let me show the target side also. There is no data in the target table, right? Now let's run the job. It should load the data. It will remove the duplicates and it will load the data only the unique records, distinct records, what I meant to say. So it executed. Let me double click on the session. See, it read 14 records, but it loaded only 12 records. Let's go and check if there are any duplicates still available in the target. See, there is only one Steve Jobs record. You can check like this also, or you can check ID in 1, 2, right? Those are the two IDs which have duplicates. See, now only 2 records. Only one Elon Musk record, one Steve Jobs record. Or you can check on the whole table also. See, even if you go and search each and every record, Steve Jobs record is only appearing once and Elon Musk record is also appearing only once. I hope that is clear. This is how you will be removing the duplicates using aggregated transformation. Okay, I hope these concepts are clear. If not, let me know or drop a comment. I will try my level best to makes the concepts much more easier way. Okay, and one more point that I want to tell when it comes to performance tuning. Sometimes people will ask you, how can you increase the performance for aggregated transformation? So you can tell them that you can tell them that it's always suggested or it's always good to send sorted data into aggregated transformation. Okay, that is one point you can tell. And it's always suggested do the sorting on the group by port that you want to select in the aggregated transformation. Okay, I hope that is clear. Let me bring this down and explain what I mean to say here. Okay, this is the 5th point. Let me write it down. This is the 5th point. Okay, so it's always good. So it's always good to send sorted data into aggregated transformation. It means that, let me explain that concept. And it's what is the next point that I made? What is the next statement I made? It's always suggested to do sorting on the group by a port that you want to use it in aggregated transformation. On the group by port that we want to use in aggregated transformation. So these are the very, very important points in order to increase the performance of aggregated transformations. Okay, the last 2 points. Let's explain. Let's take when you go and run this. Okay, so this is the data that is coming from source, right? Let me take this data, copy it, and I want to explain the concept there. How in the back end, how Informatica works. If you don't send sorted data, and when you send sorted data, how it works. Okay, let me get EMP ID, E name here, E salary here, something like that. Okay, I'm taking some random like the column names. Okay, see here. So usually the source data is present like this, right? So when you don't send the sorted data, what will happen in the back end? Informatica will try to check and try to compare each and every record with another record. See, think that this is the first record which is coming into aggregated transformation. So we are doing a group by on department ID column, right? So Informatica will take this column. That's the first department, right? It will take and keep it in the cache. And it will go and check the second record, whether the second record belongs to department 10. No. And again, it will go and check the third record, whether it belongs to department 10 or not. Yes, it belongs to department 10. And it will keep it here. While grouping, this is how it will perform the Informatica. Okay. And we'll go and check with the fourth record. It is not belonging to the department 10. And it go and checks the fifth record. and go and check the 6th record, and go and check with 7th record, and go and check the 8th record. Now the 8th record belongs to department 10. It will take like that, right? And again it starts checking the next record, next record, next record, and again it finds the 10 department record. It will take that record. So like this, it will keep on checking all the records until the end of last record, until the end of the table. So which will takes a lot of time consuming, right? So that's why always it's good practice to send sorted data into Informatica. Let's see now by sending a sorted data. Okay, let me do now to get pull the records. Let me sort and now get the records. Now I'll show if you send the sorted data to aggregated transformation, what will happen. See here, now we are sending a sorted data, right? Let me write, copy, paste here, and let's take these columns here. Okay, see here. Now all the data is like sorted on the group by port, whatever we selected. On what column we are doing a group by? We are doing a group by on department ID column, right? So that's why I also sending a sorted data on department ID. So now Informatica will check first record. It will take first record and keep it here. It belongs to 10 department. Again, second record, it belongs to 10. It belongs to department 10, right? It will take that record also. And the similar way, it will go and check the third record. It also belongs to department 10. And it will go and checks with the fourth record. It also belongs to department 10. Now, see, the next record, the fifth record is not belonging to the 10 department 10, department ID 10, right? So now Informatica is intelligent enough that when we send sorted data, it knows that there will not be any more 10 department ID record, which will come later on. So now it will start comparing 10 departments. Now it will go and check for 20 department. It will keep it 20 department now. And we'll go and check. We'll take 20 next record, which is also belong to department 20. It groups the records, right? So this is how it will help Informatica so that it will not do unwanted comparisons. Okay, when you sort the data, it will like Informatica is intelligent enough that after whenever there is a change in the department ID, it means that Informatica will understand that there will not be any more department ID 10 record will come in later on. Okay, all the data will be sorted, right? When you sort the data, there will not be any 10 department later on, like in the end or in the middle. Something like that. Okay, this is how Informatica will work. So it's always good practice. Use a sorter transformation. Okay, where is sorter? AZ. See, this is the sorter icon. AZ. Okay, select that one. Okay, always good practice to send sorted data, and it is always suggested to sort the data on the group by port which you are trying to group by. Okay, department ID is the column which I will be using as a group by. Click apply. You can use anything, ascending or descending, the sorting order, it doesn't matter. But the only thing is like you need to always prefer to send sorted data to aggregated transformation. Okay, remove these links. Connect this sorted data output to this. Okay, and the aggregator, there's nothing to do. The only thing is like before that I use this to show remove duplicates by selecting all the columns ports, right? I will be doing only group by on the department ID this time because requirement changed, right? So click apply, click OK. That's it. And one more thing that you must not forget, open the aggregated transformation. Whenever you are sending a sorted data, you need to go to properties tab and you need to check this box, sorted input. You need to tell Informatica that you are sending a sorted input. Otherwise, if you are sending sorted data and if you don't select this sorted input, the workflow, like, let me show you that one also. Let's think that we saved it. Okay, valid, right? Now go and refresh the mapping by right click on the session, refresh mapping, Control S, run the workflow, start workflow. It will execute properly. It will succeed it. Okay, 14 records, 5 records loaded. Okay, that's fine. So that's what I want to show here. Like always send sorted data into the Informatica. It will group based upon that specific group by port which you mentioned here. But I want to show one more thing. This is one more interview question. If you don't send a sorted, let's delete the sorted transformation. Okay. See here. When you connect this ports from the source to aggregated transformation, and now you already selected this sorted input, but you are not sending a sorted data, right? See here. Go and save the mapping first. It's valid. But now refresh the mapping because we changed the mapping. We have done changes in the mapping, right? Right click on the session, refresh mapping, save it. Yellow icon will go. Right click, start workflow. Now the workflow will fail because you selected the sorted input, but you are not sending the sorted data, right? See here, the error itself saying aggregated error, expecting keys to be ascending. Something like that. This is one more interview question. I hope that is clear. And one more important point that I want to show is, what if you don't select any port as a group by port? So go to the aggregated transformation. Okay. Don't select anything and uncheck this one also. Okay. Don't select any group by port. Click apply, click OK. You tell me like what is the behavior now. Select save, refresh the mapping. See, save it. Yellow icon will disappear. Now right click, start workflow. It will load only one record. That is the default behavior. Whenever you don't select any group by port, it will take the last record and load it. It will consider all the records as a one group and it will load only the last record. That is one more interview question. What happens if you don't select group by port in the aggregated transformation? Let me write it down here. The default behavior of aggregated transformation is when you don't select a group by port in AGG transformation, it will consider all the records as one single group and load the last record into target table. I hope this is clear. Okay, go and check the target table now. This one. Only one record will be there, which is last record, right? Go and check the last record without sorting, okay? Indra Noi. And what is the last record that loaded into target table? Indra Noi. See? It had 14 records, but it loaded only one record when you don't select group by port in the aggregated transformation. So these are the very, very important points when it comes to interviews, as well as when you are working with aggregated transformation in Informatica at your workplace. Okay. I hope all the concepts that I explained are clear. If not, please comment. I will try my level best to help you out, guys. Yeah. Thank you so much. Until then, take care.